How's it going, everybody? This is Kyle from the UA Playbook coming back at you with another video. That's Mocha back there. But however, I'm going to be introducing you into a deck that I think is a little bit overrated, and it's Purple Bleach Volume 2 with the Squad Zero Affinity. With that being said, let's get into the deck profile. So start things off with zeros. You run 4 Senjimaru. It is 15,000, 1 action, and has a trigger get to add to your hand. Then we're going to be running 3 of the Kiryu. It's a 2,000, 1 action, and 1 energy generator. Trigger of draw a card. Then we're running 2 of the Old Faithful, 0 drop Ichigo. Get add to hand, 1,500, 1 action, 0, and 1 energy generator. Then we round things off with the Tanjiro. Tanjiro, my bad, not Tanjiro. What is this freaking, what is it? Man, I forgot the anime already. Demon Slayer. There we go. What he does is, when played, look at the top card of your deck, and you can either place it on top or place it at the bottom of your deck. So it kind of helps you filter. It's a 2K, no trigger. Produces you 1 energy. So we're running 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 zeros in the deck. Or 11 zeros in the deck. My bad. 11 zeros. Now let's move on to the 1 drops of the deck. We're running 4 Senjimaru. Or 3 Senjimaru 1 drops. My bad, not 4. I'm running 3 of mine. It's a 1 drop, 1 action, produces 1 energy, no effect, 2,500, but it has an active trigger to get some plus 3K and restanding. Rateable target for something later in the deck. Then I'm running something a little controversial. I'm running 2 of the Orihime from original Volume 1 set. What it states is, on play, you may place you may bounce back on 1 or less to your hand, and then she comes onto the field. If you can't, she goes to, you just can't return her to your hand. So like, she's gonna be able to push you to 2 quicker. So like, the highest BP, energy requirement is 5 in this deck. So the fact of the matter is, you're trying to be able to do certain things in this deck. So if you can keep on 5, be able to go Ichigo when you want to go Ichigo 5 drop. Being able to have this here is kind of really nice, because it's going to keep you being able to push up things every turn. That rounds up the 1 drops of the deck. Then we're going into the 2 drops of the deck. I'm running only 2 Kisuke. Similar to the Orihime, but different. So he comes on 2. He's got no trigger, but he's got an interesting effect. If this card is set to active on my field, it produces 2 energy instead of 1. So that is something that's very nice, because again, keeping your energy line going, making sure that you could keep on pushing things up every turn and being able to rate on things every turn, very nice. However, I think I might cut him or I might keep him. It's a debate at this point. Moving on to the 3 drops. I'm running 4 Rosetsu. What he states, he's a 3 energy required, 1 action, 2 energy generator, 2,000 plus BP. What he states is, when he comes into the field, look at the top card of your deck and then place it at the top or the bottom of your deck. So similar to the Tenjiro that you're running, he can manipulate the top card of your deck. And as well as when attacking, you may place 1 Squad Zero Affinity card from your hand to your removal area. If you do, this character gets plus 2,000. So he goes from being a 2K to a 4K when swinging if you remove a Squad Zero from your hand. Kind of nice, kind of busted. Then we're moving on to the structure deck Ichigo. When attacking, this character gets plus 1,000 until the end of the turn. So he just swings, he produces you 2 energy. He's a 3K that becomes a 4K when swinging, with no additional things that need to go with that. Very good. Also, the fact that he's producing you 2 energy, very good. So running only 4 of the 3 drops. Moving on to the 4 drops, we're running 4 of Ichibe. So what he states is, when played, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, and then reveal. And then when attacking, he states, select a required energy amount, then reveal the top card of your deck. If the card has the same selected energy amount, you may add it to your hand. If you do, place 1 card from your hand to your removal area. If you did not add a card to your hand, place a real card back on top. So that's really good, as well as the fact that he's a color trigger. So what his color trigger states is, play 1 purple character of 2 or less energy required and 1 AP from your sidelines up to active in your hand. So let's just say, you know, you're about to die and you could just, they hit the Ichibe. You could just be like, bring back something, take the last hit, and then hope to God next turn you could do something. As well as the fact that he's just a 4/1 drop action, 4K beater with 1 energy generation. Very good. Helps you find things, helps you filter. Very good. Next up, we're running 4 of the Senjimaru raid. So when played, you place any number of squad 0 affinity cards from your hand to your sideline and choose one character with 2,500 or less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. For each card placed to your hand to your removal area with this ability, it's not to sidelines, removal, my bad. Area with this ability, add 1,000 BP range, add 1,000 to the BP range of the card you chose. So, like, if they have a 2,500 beater up there or something less, you could just remove it when she comes into play. Or you could remove something up to 4,500. So it's just another removal piece. It's a 4K beater. I don't know how I feel about it. I like it, but I don't know how I feel about it yet. I mean, it's really good, but at the same token, it's like, there's other options in the game that do better on removal. Alrighty, so moving up next. So these are on the way. They're supposed to be here today, but they did not get here. The Ichigo Kurosaki, the new one from Volume 2, Bleach. He states he's got Nullify Impact, and then if there are 10 or more other cards in the removal area, or 2 or more with Squad 0 affinity, this character gains damage too. So as long as there's 2 or more Squad 0s in your removal area, or 10 or more in there, he gets damage too. And then if there are 4 or more Squad 0 affinity cards with unique names in your removal area, he also gains Impact. So he has Nullify Impact. When he meets all of his requirements, he has Nullify Impact, Damage 2, and Impact 1. Very good card. The only downside, in my opinion, he does not come untapped. So if you're going to play him correctly, you put him on your energy island, you push him up the next turn, and sometimes that just feels absolutely awful. But when he comes out, it does well. Next up for the 5 drops, so we only run 3 of him. I might push him up to 4. Ichigo Kurosaki 5 drops. So everybody knows this from Volume 1. At least if you've been around since Volume 1, you should know about 5 drop Ichigo Kurosaki. When played, place the top 2 cards of your deck into your sideline. Place any number of cards from your sideline into your removal area. If you do, choose one character in your opponent's front line, and it loses 500 BP for each card placed in your removal area with this ability until end of turn. So, like, depending on how many cards in your removal area, you can remove big bodies. There is going to be some drawbacks. I'm going to bring up some reasons as to why I think this deck is completely hyped and why I think it's not the best deck in the room. However, it's a very good deck to play. All right, that ends that. And then let's move on to your specials. Alrighty, so I am running 3. I don't even know how to pronounce this. The Shetsusi Kurugian. I don't know. I'm just going to read the card effect to you. I don't want to butcher it any further. If somebody knows how to pronounce it, please try to break it down in the comment section for me. So what it states is place up to 3 squad affinity cards from your hand to your removal area, then choose up to 3,000. Choose a character with 3,000 or less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. For each card placed from your hand to your removal area with this ability, you can add 1,000 to the BP range of the character you may choose. Then for each card placed from your hand to your removal area, you get to draw a card. So in a sense, you're just going to be able to, you can remove a 4, 5, 6,000 BP character on your opponent's front line. You're going to be able to possibly net 3 cards off of it. That's pretty good, as well as just a traditional special while in life. Very good. And then, of course, I am running the 1 copy of Getsuga Tenshu because we are running Ichigo. And sometimes maybe we don't need to go for that play, and we just need to remove something with Getsuga Tenshu and just call it good. I mean, it seems pretty fair to me. A 3-1 split. It seems pretty fun. I mean, I can see where some people would cut it to this one, but I kind of like it where it is. And then let's move on to the finals. We run 4 Bankai. I mean, as I've stated before in previous situations, you have to run 4 in most circumstances in a deck. If you're not running 4, you're probably going to run into some circumstances unless it's a little bit different of the strategy of the deck. So in this deck in particular, you're going to try to keep on rushing, and you're going to keep on trying to remove things. You're going to keep bodies going and searching and digging and stuff like that. So playing 4 Bankai is an absolute must in this deck. And the last card of the deck that we're running is 3 sites, and they are called the Royal Palace. What the Royal Palace does is, when it comes in untapped, set the active on your field. And then you may set it, switch the resting with the top card of your deck, and if it has a squad 0 affinity, you reveal it and add it to your hand. Otherwise, place the top card of your deck into your sideline. So you can either keep the card on top, if it's a squad 0 affinity, add it to your hand, and if it's a card you don't want, you can sideline it. So it helps you filter. With that being said, that is the deck list. Let's go into thoughts and opinions, as I've stated earlier, about this deck. So with that being said, this is the current deck list that I'm trying out for Purple Volume 2 Bleach, and I see where the appeal is, but I also think people are just forgetting something with the deck. I do like it. I think it's a very strong deck. I mean, now granted, do I think it's the best deck of the room? No, I do not. There are way better decks in the format. For example, this deck has a really hard time against aggression strategy based decks, such as Black Bowls, Megami, so on and so forth. And the reason for that is because again, this is more of a hold back and hold on to your strategy kind of deck versus I'm just gonna go all in. Now, I've tried to make it go all in as best as possible, and it can hold off, but it in most circumstances it's not doing so well with it. The hold off strategy I really don't like with this deck because again, now you're just gonna give your opponent too much leverage, I guess, with when they're playing aggro. The pros of it all, though, is there's a lot of searching, there's a lot of finding things, but sometimes those searches and finding things just don't come up in time. But when it does come up in time, it feels really good. So I wouldn't be going around saying this is the best deck of the format. However, I will say it's a very good deck, and you do not be surprised if you see it from time to time. There are definitely some different brews that you can try out with the deck and try out different strategies. Like I said, right now I'm in the midst of trying out the Kisuke with the or the Hime route, so I can keep on 5 a little bit easier, so I could potentially push up things more often, providing more blockers, providing more removal, providing more swings. However, I don't know. I haven't really found a real good niche with it for my testings with it. Last night, one of my buddies was playing a different variation of the deck, very similar, but a little bit different compared to mine, and he was having a hard time against purple black bowls. Now granted, purple black bowls is really good at aggression, it's really good at removing things when it needs to remove it, but still, for it to be called the best deck in the format, I don't think it is, y'all. I really don't. It wouldn't be losing to decks like that go off the beaten path and stuff like that, as well as other decks like I've played with Red Asta against it, and Red Asta typically wins against it. I think I went so far. I'm not going to go into my own things, but I've done very well against it with Red Asta. Would I say in a vacuum sense is this deck good? Yes. Do I think it's the best deck in the format? No. With that being said, give this deck a try. And your opinions and thoughts and comments, please keep them in the comment section below, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.